Isn't this an odd coincidence? I never imagined we'd be reunited like this. I can't believe you're our subcontractor's account manager.
You're absolutely correct. This isn't the kind of reunion I was hoping for either.
So I'm not surprised you work for us. It's a fantastic opportunity for someone like you.
Nothing has changed in the last 10 years. As far as I can tell, you're still as obnoxious as you were in high school. I was taken aback to meet face to face with you in this manner, particularly after all of this time. How are you?
I'm not going to respond to that. It's none of your concern. Anyway, why don't you go get me some lunch?
Okay, I was just being polite, but there's no need for you to respond to my query. But I don't see why I should have to go out and buy you lunch.
What? Don't you realize you're in no position to respond to me in that manner? Or perhaps you should return to kindergarten because you appear to have forgotten how to obey orders? You can relearn how to listen to authority figures.
We haven't seen each other in 10 years, but you haven't changed at all. You may even be more immature now than you were in high school.
No, don't you understand? I was just attempting to accommodate your intelligence level, which is certainly significantly lower than mine. Anyway, hurry along, bring me some food before my break ends. Otherwise, you risk losing our company's contract. Are you certain that is what you want? How are you going to explain to your manager that this contract fell through because of you? I can already see the outcome. You'll most likely wind up on your knees, pleading for his pardon. It's a large deal, so it can't be written off that quickly.
I'm not sure what kind of fancy circumstance you're imagining, but I hope you recognize it's just a fiction. Do you honestly believe it's okay to cancel a contract over a missed lunch? That is incredibly unprofessional, if not ludicrous.
What's the big deal about that? I'm an extremely successful entrepreneur. Unlike you, I truly contribute to the success of my company, and my position is highly respected here.
That does not appear to be anything a professional business person would say.
I'll simply inform my management that it was entirely your fault that we terminated the contract, and that it will not be my responsibility to settle. Besides, I know they'll always have my back since they recognize how vital I am to this company. I'll simply inform them that we must terminate your contract due to your disrespectful attitude. Is that what you really want?
I never stated anything like that. Please don't try to put words in my mouth.
Okay, anything. Anyway, it's still difficult to conceive we'd wind up doing business like this, don't you think? But in a way, it's amusing because you can still take my orders. It must be your fate to be the errand girl forever. Don't worry, I'll make sure to send you lots of work, so get ready to work hard.
What do you mean? I'm not here to do your errands. This isn't high school. I don't believe you should speak to me as if we were still in school. We're no longer classmates, but working professionals. When we interact about business, you should at the very least be courteous.
I can't believe you have the audacity to respond to me in that way. As I already stated, you are nothing more than an errand girl to me, so don't try to act inappropriately. Why don't you think about your situation more thoroughly before opening your mouth?
This discussion is really going nowhere. The longer we continue on like this, the more fatigued I become. I already have a lot on my plate, trying to make amends for your mistake.
Oh, you're referring to the mistake I purposefully made?
What exactly do you mean by this?
I was only trying to help you by giving you something to work on. That's why, every now and then, I'll make a deliberate mistake for you to repair.
That is totally needless. Why would you consider of doing such extra work?
Anyway, you arrived yesterday with your predecessor, correct?
Was there an issue with that?
That gorgeous man. He was promoted to general manager, right? So you'll be taking over as account manager from now on, correct?
That's correct, but how can you know so much? It's as if you were present when I made the news.
Oh, no. That isn't the case. My data comes from a reliable source. My guy is the handsome man who used to be in charge of this contract.
What?
He's my man, however. At our meeting yesterday, you seemed unduly friendly with him. I hope you're not playing any silly games with me. You should avoid him because he's my man.
I wasn't attempting to steal him from you in any way. That's how he and I have always been with each other.
What's the point? Are you attempting to imply that you are closer to him than I am?
So in terms of physical proximity, I suppose I'm closer to him than everyone else in the office.
You can't make a move on him just because you work in the same office and get along. He and I are soulmates who love one another. We even went out to celebrate our anniversary last night.
That's fantastic. But none of that matters right now.
Exactly. All you have to do is wait for my commands and follow them.
As I previously stated, we are no longer in high school, and I have no intention of complying with any of your absurd rules, especially considering you are purposefully harming my work effectiveness.
What a coincidence that we were conversing right now. I'm drinking with several buddies, but we've just run out of alcohol. Can you go to the liquor store and get it for me?
Are you even paying attention to what I'm saying? I just told you I wasn't going to be your personal servant.
Oh, and did I mention how much fun my date last night was?
That's great.
But what about you? You're just dull and monotonous, and you're just used at work for running errands. I'm guessing you've never had a lover and will probably spend the rest of your life alone?
That's really none of your concern. So please keep your hands off my personal affairs, okay?
And moreover, I'm sure you're not really excellent at your work, so you don't have much going for you, do you?
I'd appreciate it if you could quit making assumptions about me, because you're absolutely wrong. So if there's nothing more to talk, I'd want to get started right away.
Sure thing. You don't have any plans for tonight or anything. I'd be astonished if you were going out. Oh, and just so you know, I'm one of the top employees in this workplace. And it's incredibly fulfilling to be creating work that is constantly praised.
I don't have time to hear you brag about yourself.
Oh, and I'm so astute that I've taken thorough notes on our internal matters so that I may refer to them at any time.
Isn't that a breach of privacy? What kind of insider knowledge are you referring to?
You know, like the specifics of our product development. I can't believe I'm the one who had this thinking. But I'm sure knowing this kind of information will come in good at some point. So, don't you believe it's best to take these actions early on?
Isn't that the kind of information that should be kept private? And what do you mean by it being useful one day? What do you intend to do with that data? Are you going to give it to one of your competitors?
You caught on quickly, especially for an errand girl.
Do you realize that leaking confidential information is a crime?
Is it a crime? You're simply exaggerating? I have yet to do anything with the information. I'm just getting everything ready for the perfect time. No one will ever find out what I'm up to.
Not so sure. Someone will eventually find out. I know you told your lover last night about your plan to sell firm secrets over dinner. Your boyfriend is also my manager.
Huh. But how could he know about what we were talking about?
Are you certain you want to share that kind of information with someone outside your company? Don't you believe that puts you in a poor situation?
Oh, please keep quiet. You have no idea what you're on about. Are you even aware of what you have? It isn't your place to lecture me on this.
So let me pose the same question to you. Are you aware of the massive error you've already committed? What you're attempting to do, Nessa, is clearly illegal.
Don't overthink it. Just wait for your next duty like the good errand girl you are.
That's enough. Don't you understand the difference between what is and isn't suitable to say? Or do you still think like a high schooler? You haven't matured one bit in all these years, have you?
I simply thought that would be a good topic for a discussion. That's why I brought it up last night with my boyfriend. What's wrong with two wealthy business people having an interesting dinner conversation? I wish I hadn't told you about it. Your statements have absolutely depressed me. I'm still waiting for the extra beverages I requested earlier. How long must I wait? You'd best buy me the most expensive bottle of wine you have to compensate for this. What a fantastic idea. This time, I'll let you off the hook if you bring me the greatest wine you can find. Oh, and if you want to disregard my orders, you can cancel our contract.
It appears that you are already having difficulty distinguishing between business and personal problems. Perhaps you drank too much? Let me tell you something that will wake you up faster than a bucket of ice-cold water.
What do you mean?
In fact, my fiancé is your company's CEO.
Are you kidding me? What do you mean?
I am engaged to your company's CEO. And he's right next to me right now because we were just talking about wedding arrangements.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. Where do you get these insane ideas?
And in fact, the man you were out with last night is my elder brother.
What? What?
As you are aware, my brother handled the contract with your company for several years prior to me. He collaborated extensively with your CEO, and they became excellent friends over time. And he was the one who introduced me to my current fiancé. so we're both grateful to my brother.
Are you sure? Is my lover your brother?
Yes, and it sounded like you two were really getting along these days. At the very least, my brother appeared to be serious about your relationship. I texted him only to inquire about what you said about me. He has confirmed everything, and he is also really disappointed in you.
What? That's all made up by you? Stop attempting to play me just to get back at me for taking advantage of you. He cannot possibly be your brother. You don't have the same surname.
You accuse me of being overly friendly with my manager during our meeting yesterday, but this is because he is my biological brother. That's how we always make fun of each other. And while we have different last names because we grew up separately following our parents' divorce, we are genetically related siblings.
Oh, I see. You're simply envious that his devotion was no longer directed at you. Your attachment to him is simply out of control.
I'm not envious, and I have no intention of interfering with his personal relationships. I'm fine as long as my brother is happy, whatever his partner may be. But it appears that my brother no longer trusts you as a result of your recent behavior and what you told him.
Does he not believe me? But why is that?
Clearly, because you attempted to sell company secrets to a third party, which is completely inappropriate as a working professional. You should be aware that breaking a company's privacy policies is a crime and can result in criminal charges. However, you were essentially bragging about what you intended to do. Are you really so naive? Did you expect your actions to go unpunished?
No, just take it easy for a moment. Obviously, I was joking about it all. Can't you accept a simple joke?
A joke? What aspect of your plan were you kidding about? My brother and I were both certain that you intended to carry out your plan. You even have extensive notes regarding your company's internal problems, which you showed my brother, as you mentioned. He may be your lover, but he does not work for the same company as you. It's also prohibited to disclose such information with an outsider. You're fortunate that my brother is a competent businessman. It would be a disaster for your firm if that kind of information fell into the hands of the wrong person.
Tiana, please, just relax. Nothing about our company was disclosed and everything is good.
But it isn't the point. It makes no sense to continue putting your company's reputation at jeopardy.
And anyway, we used to joke and goof about like that all the time. You already know not to take me seriously when I say things like that. I had no idea you were so prejudiced. So, you're going to tell your brother that this is all a prank and clear up the confusion for me, right?
It's too late to change anything. There's a time and a place for jokes like that, but it is not meant to be used in professional situations like this. You know I don't like to play games, and I've loathed your sense of humor since we were in high school. You may have been able to order me around back then, but I'm no longer the timid young lady I once was.
There's no need to get so worked up over this. Everything that happened in high school was a joke.
Is this just a joke? It didn't appear that way to the victim of your so-called joke. Whatever happened back then is over, but even as working professionals, you were still trying to get me to run errands for you, weren't you? When you threatened to cancel our contract, you didn't appear to be joking.
That was all a misunderstanding.
In any case, both my brother and your CO are well aware of the situation. My fiancé has just received a call from my brother, and you can probably guess what the call was about.
Wait. So, my CEO is aware of what I was attempting to accomplish? What do I do now? Isn't this terrible for me?
He stated that he will meet with you directly to discuss the types of sanctions that will be imposed on you.
No, you can't treat me like this.
Is it civility that you asked me to bring you a bottle of pricey wine? That will also be reported.
What's the matter with you? Can't you take a joke once in a while? It was never my goal for you to pay for that wine. It just came out that way out of habit. We've known each other since high school, so I figured we could at least communicate.
Do you mean your practice of bullying me into doing your errands? So you're still attempting to bully me as adults, just as you did in high school? Is that your explanation?
I had no idea you were engaged to our CO. I had absolutely no idea. And it had been a year since we last saw one other, so I was pleasantly delighted to see you again. I suppose you could say I was relieved to see a familiar face, but I got a little carried away.
You may make all the justifications you want, but it's a little late.
Oh, no. Please, do not mention that. I'm sorry for everything I've ever said or done to you. I'll also apologize to our CEO.
I agree that apologizing to us is the bare minimum. It does not, however, change the fact that you have committed a crime. Isn't it true that you told a third party about company secrets and boasted about obtaining private documents?
I only showed them to my boyfriend because I trusted him to keep them a secret. It was never my aim to hurt anyone. I was merely trying to spice up our chat. More importantly, I didn't want to conceal any secrets from my husband.
Why don't you just quit making up excuses? It appears that the first error you made was informing my brother about your plan. In case you didn't know, he's a highly righteous person who is harsh on individuals who don't accept responsibility for their acts.
Oh my goodness! This is not possible. He just messaged me that he wants to break up. I thought we'd get married, but now everything's wrecked. I hope you realize it's all your fault. You should have stayed quiet and carry out my directions. Otherwise, none of this would have occurred.
What's the point? You want to blame me for your mistakes now? Nessa, you acted at your own discretion, and I hope you are aware that what you have done is punishable by law. If you have the time to blame someone else, why not just accept your mistakes and strive to be a better version of yourself?
Okay, I'm sorry. I deeply regret what I've done now, but no harm has been done. Can we simply forget that this ever happened?
You won't be able to call yourself a valuable employee any longer, it appears. I'm sure you'll get fired for what you've done, so good luck finding a new job.
No, I will never go through the job search process again. After so many fruitless interviews, I was finally able to secure this job in a top corporation, and I've worked so hard to earn my position here. There's no problem because I didn't actually divulge any of the details, is there?
You don't appear to understand what the word company secrets means. Perhaps you should revisit your new employee training material and reacquaint yourself with the corporate policies. Oh, but you're not going to have that job anymore, so I guess it'd be a waste of time.
I can't possibly lose this job. I sincerely apologize for what I've done. Please, please, let me keep this job.
I'm not sure why you're constantly apologizing to me. And it's a bad you're getting a 1-2 punch by losing both your job and your partner.
I don't want to end our relationship because of this. Can't you at least try to persuade your brother to reconsider his decision? I beg of you. You are the only person who can help us right now. And who knows, maybe we'll become sisters one day.
Oh, please. That is the furthest thing from my mind.
What? But I thought we were close.
Is that your opinion? Oh, and I've already informed my brother about how you treated me in high school.
Why would you do such a thing? If he finds out, he'll be extremely disappointed in me.
He was already turned off by your actions at dinner last night, but believe me when I say he's completely turned off now. Isn't that unfortunate? Especially since things were going so well between you and my brother. I'm so pleased this all came up before you and my brother were married. I know I wished you success in your job search, but good luck in your search for a new husband as well. You don't have anything to say in reply? I suppose you've exhausted your objections. Or, to put it another way, there's nothing you can say to counter these claims. It took you a long time, but I suppose you're finally ready to admit defeat.
After that, as expected, Nessa was summoned to her manager's office first thing the next morning, where she was interrogated extensively about what had occurred. Although no information was actually disclosed, it was clear that she intended to. Because of Tiana's brother's allegation, as well as the extensive notes containing company secrets that she had in hand, it didn't take long for me to decide that she should be fired immediately. Unable to accept her penalty, she marched into the CO's office to talk with him personally. She apologized repeatedly on her knees, but it was in vain. Nessa was unaware of this, but her CEO was well aware of the manner she bullied Tiana in high school. Unable to forgive anyone who had injured his girlfriend in the past or present, he completely disregarded her for the entire 30 minutes she was in his office. Nessa's lover, who also happened to be Tiana's older brother, dumped her right away, with no regrets. Nessa was absolutely upset after losing her job and lover all at once, and she had no one to rely on. She appears to be desperately hunting for a new career right now, taking any and all places that will allow her to interview. Hopefully, she'll be able to find work soon, or she won't be able to pay the following month's rent on time. If she had only considered the repercussions before behaving so rashly. But what's done is done, and it's too late to make amends.
Tina, found a place to live yet? Still at Mom and Dad's? I'm only asking because I'm planning to bring Tom and some meet Mom and Dad next week. Hoping you wouldn't be home to avoid awkwardness when we visit. Mom and Dad are uncomfortable with you still being here.
I know. I'm going to leave as soon as I can, but it's not easy. And I am still having trouble wrapping my head around everything that's happened.
What do you mean? Wrapping your head around what?
To start with, how about that you, my baby sister, stole my fiancé from me? Or how about all the horrible things you accused me of doing to make me out to be the villain and justify what you did? I'm just still in shock over everything.
Oh, please. Get over it, already. You're getting treated like a villain because you are the villain here. Only someone who knows they have done wrong complains about being called out on it.
That makes no sense at all, Luca. What are you even talking about?
I make perfect sense. I didn't force Tom to fall in love with me. It just happened. What was I supposed to do? You're so mean to him and nagging all the time about responsibility and other boring things. It's no wonder he didn't really want to marry you.
Of course it's all your fault. You can't fool me, despite fooling others. You threw yourself down the stairs and then told everyone that I pushed you. Even though I was nowhere near you at the time.
All I did was tell the truth. I sprained my ankle really bad in that fall. It's pretty heartless of you not to care at all.
Of course I care, but it was your own carelessness that made you fall. And then you took advantage of the fact that there was no one around to see to blame it on me. I don't understand how Mom and Dad can believe such an obvious lie. And somehow you were able to use it to paint me as this horrible person, and steal Roman from me too.
I did not. Tom was already mine by then. He loves me, so of course he was on my side. Is there anything else you need me to explain to you? It seems like you don't have anyone left to be on your side. It would be best if you just disappeared now, okay?
Believe me, I understand that. Not one person is willing to see you for who you really are. You know what? I'm done with this. I've been dragging my feet all moving, because I was hoping someone would wake up and realize what's going on. But I guess that's not going to happen. I'll be out of the house today. I can't handle being around any of you anymore.
Finally!
You've made it perfectly clear. There is not one person that I can rely on in my own family. No one can see the truth even when it is right in front of them.
Excuse me? That's awfully rude. You pushed me down the stairs. They're only treating you as you deserve.
You can say whatever you want at this point. I will soon be gone, so nothing you can say matters to me anymore. Feel free to say anything your crazy mind comes up with. I am packing my stuff up now, so leave me alone.
Hey, are you gone yet?
I made an appointment with an apartment manager to view an apartment.
Okay, good. You should be out really soon, then. It won't take you long to pack, right? It's not like you have anything of value to pack.
I have already packed up everything I need to take with me. Thanks to someone sneaking into my room and stealing a bunch of my stuff.
What? I did not. I didn't steal anything. I only took what you said I could have. It's your fault for buying clothes and stuff that don't look good on you. I'm way prettier than you, so it makes sense that I take it all off your hands.
I said someone stole from me. I never accused you of anything.
Oh.
Thank you for the confirmation, though. I doubt it will change anything, but at least I have proof of your theft.
Oh my God. You are so annoying. Just get out already.
I'm leaving now.
Good. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with you anymore. Finally, nothing is in my way.
Oh, one more thing, Luca. Tom has blocked my number, so I need you to deliver a message for me.
What?
If he does not return the $3,000 that he borrowed from me by the end of the month, I will take him to court over it.
What? What $3,000? He knows how to get the money to me already, so if you could just give him that message, that would be great. Thanks.
If he has any questions, he can send them through you or unblock me and ask for himself.
That's ridiculous. Why would he borrow money from you? He works at a major company and makes good money. You barely make enough to live on. There's no way this is true. You're making stuff up because you don't want to let him go.
I'm not, and I can prove it. I have a written promise from him to pay it back.
Yeah. Whatever. You don't have anything.
Look, I honestly don't care whether you believe me or not. Just give him the message, okay? I'm sure he will tell you why he borrowed money from me if you ask him.
I'm not telling him anything. Just stop. This isn't a funny joke. It just makes you look desperate.
Whatever. It's up to you. I'm leaving now. I really hope I never have to return. Goodbye, Luca.
Tina. Guess what? I have some amazing news. Tom asked me to marry him. It's okay to reply. You don't have to ignore me. It was so romantic. He proposed while we were walking together on the beach. The sun was going down and it was just so perfect. It was the sweetest thing ever.
Oh. Congratulations.
We have already started talking about the wedding. We are planning on a budget of around $50,000. Maybe a bit more when all is said and done.
Really? I wouldn't get your hopes up on that. That's a lot of money.
Oh, please. You are just jealous.
No. I just know that he doesn't have that kind of money, and neither does our family.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Stop being such a downer. I know what your negative attitude is really about. Who cares that he had to borrow some money from you before? That's over now, and his financial situation is very different than it was then. Besides, he told me he paid you back a few days after I gave him your message.
Oh, did he? Well, I appreciate that you passed along the message.
He told me that he only had to borrow from you in the first place because a few unexpected expenses came up. It's pretty cruel of you to hold it over him like you did. It just reveals how self-righteous you really are when you do things like that.
That's not what happened at all. That's not what happened at all. All I want is a clean break between me and the two of you, and I almost had that. I don't understand why you felt the need to come bragging to me about how happy the two of you are. You've won. Just leave me alone.
Well, excuse me for assuming you would want some time to prepare yourself for the wedding. I guess you prefer to just get blindsided by the wedding invitation.
Are you serious right now? After all that's happened, I thought I would be the last person you would want to invite to your wedding.
Of course I want you there. We are family. I wasn't trying to brag about anything. I just wanted to share the news with my big sister. I didn't want there to be any drama if you found out from someone else, so I thought I would tell you myself.
I wouldn't have started any drama regardless of how I found out. I told you, I just want to move on and heal from all of this.
Okay, fine. Be that way.
Did you need anything else?
Well, no. I guess not.
I have to get back to work.
Oh my God! Really? It's Saturday. Why are you working? Are you so poor that you had to get a side gig or something? No wonder you demanded that Tom give you that money.
I changed careers and entered the hospitality industry. Weekends are just another day for me now.
Oh. I didn't know you changed careers.
Thanks to you, I am actually making pretty good money now. The pay here is higher than where I was working before, and I don't have to pay anything to our parents or help Tom out anymore.
What do you mean, thanks to me?
Isn't it obvious? If you hadn't betrayed me, I wouldn't be where I am now. I don't think there is anything else to do or say at this point. Bye.
Tina, answer your phone. I need you.
What do you want? I can't really talk. I'm at work right now.
Are you ready to congratulate me?
Congratulate you? For what? Is your wedding coming soon?
Yes, it's next Sunday. You did congratulate me when I told you that Tom proposed, but I wanted to talk to you about your wedding gift to us. We are sisters, so $50,000 would be the right amount to give us, I think.
I'm sorry. What now? Are you seriously asking me to give you $50,000? Have you lost your mind?
You are my big sister. You should want to help me in any way you can. You can't put a price tag on how much sisters mean to each other.
Wow. I don't even know where to begin with all of that. But I think I know what's going on here. You finally realized the financial situation that you are in, didn't you? You can't pay the costs for the big, expensive wedding you want, so you expect someone else to hand over the cash.
No, it's not that.
You're broke. Just admit it.
That's not true. I have a little money.
No. You refuse to work anything other than a part-time job, so you don't make very much. And what you do make, you like to spend on useless stuff and going out rather than even trying to save. On top of that, Mom and Dad are probably still giving you spending money whenever you ask. Even though they really aren't in a position to do that. So you haven't had any reason to ever try and save any money whatsoever, have you? And sure, Tom works for a big company, so you probably thought you could rely on him for money. But he is only on a temporary contract. That won't last forever.
How do you know that?
Because I was engaged to him first. There's nothing about him that I don't already know. I am going to go out on a limb and say that you just found out that temporary employees make a lot less than full employees. That's why you are suddenly scrambling for money days before your wedding. The reason he had to borrow money from me before was that he got laid off from a temporary job when the company downsized. He needed help just making ends meet until he got his next temp job assignment. I didn't expect him to be able to pay me back all at once like he did after I told you about the debt. I wonder where he borrowed the money from to make that happen.
He said he had the money and he had just forgotten to pay you back until I said something.
Sure he did. Anyways, back to all this about giving you money to pay for your wedding. You went into this assuming that he was going to pay for everything. But he was under the impression that our parents would pay for it since they make a point of appearing to have money, even though they don't really. That's about how it went, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's not my fault. I didn't know that Tom was only a temp. I thought he had a really good salary as a full-time employee, so I never doubted that he would be able to take care of it. You are more to blame than I am. Why didn't you tell me if you knew he wasn't making that much? I had no idea. I feel so lied to.
I told you about it when I was engaged to him. And you and I have some friends in common, so I'm sure they mentioned it at some point. No one tried to hide it from you. You just did not want to hear about it because it was inconvenient. I know I mentioned it to Mom and Dad, and I'm pretty sure you were there too. I told you guys about how we decided not to get married until he was offered a full-time position. But I guess you weren't listening because you were already making plans to stab me in the back.
You still should have told me. It doesn't matter that he chose me over you. How could you just let me think he had a high-paying job when that's not the case? That's basically the same as robbing me. I didn't know I was with someone so poor that he couldn't even afford a proper wedding.
You're a grown woman. Do you really need your big sister to treat you like a child and tell you every little thing? Neither me nor Tom ever made his job status a secret. If you really didn't know, it's because you weren't paying attention.
You're really going to try and blame me? Why are you being so mean?
If the two of you didn't have a conversation about this before now, that's a problem for the two of you. Not me, not Mom and Dad, no one. Just you. And you're the one that stole him from me in the first place. Anything having to do with Tom became your problem when you did that. At that point, his problems were no longer any of my responsibility.
That doesn't change anything.
And on top of all that, you accused me of pushing you down the stairs and made me out to be a criminal. I was forced to move out because of you. There's no point in trying to point the finger at me. This is 100% your own fault.
No, it isn't. You are to blame too.
In case it wasn't clear enough, I will not be giving you any money. Not for your wedding or any other reason.
No, Tina. Please, I'm your sister. You should want to help me out.
Even if I wanted to, I don't have that kind of money to throw around.
Please. I'll do anything. If we can't pay for it by Sunday, the wedding will have to be canceled. We have already invited so many people. It would be so embarrassing to have to cancel at the last minute. Besides, I don't even have enough money for the cancellation fee if it came to that. We have nothing. Please help me just as once. You'll never have to hear from me again if you don't want to. If you help me, I'll be a better sister. I promise, I'll be there for you always. Please, Tina.
Luca relentlessly contacted me and involved our parents. She argued that I should have supported her financially for the wedding instead of holding a grudge. Tom proposed a reconciliation but brazenly requested money in the same conversation. Similarly, my parents urged me to return home but also asked for money, leading me to doubt their sincerity. Working in hospitality has increased my income, but it still falls short of meeting Luca's demands, even if I desired to fulfill them. I changed my number due to relentless money-related harassment. A friend informed me that Tom was disowned by his family upon learning about the situation. They disapproved of his attempt to exploit marriage for financial gain. Ultimately, I'm relieved I didn't marry him and become dependent on him indefinitely. They covered only half of the cancellation fee, forcing my parents to sell their house for a pittance as they couldn't afford to keep up with the payments. My parents and sister share an apartment, but they argue daily. Due to frequent complaints from neighbors, they may have to relocate once more.
Where are you? I just realized I didn't see your mother either.
I'm out to see the ballet with Mom today. We'll have dinner after and then go home. There's a popular French restaurant nearby that I wanted to visit.
What? Just the two of you?
Yup. You don't have time to go see the ballet. Because you're the one that has to take care of that old man.
But you could have at least said something.
What are you going to do even if I tell you? You're staying home with the old man anyway.
Please don't call your father old man. I feel sorry for him.
The name old man is enough for that guy.
Why are you and your mother so cold to him?
He's always been a timid, unreliable man. It's just so pathetic to watch. And on top of that, he's now disabled and needs nursing care. I'm just hoping he'll be gone soon.
It wasn't his fault that he became disabled. Don't blame your father, he's just ill.
You're always defending that old man, aren't you? Do you feel a bond with other useless people? Pathetic.
Useless people?
He's just baggage, and you're sterile. You can't even get pregnant. Give me back my hopes and dreams.
I'm sorry.
I must have married the wrong person because we've been married for 5 years and we can't have kids. The only thing a useless wife like you can do is take care of the old man.
I have never disliked being his caretaker. Your father was always kind to me.
The only reason the old man is nice to you is that he wants your company. There was no one in this house on his side. He probably feels a connection with you, another useless human.
I'm pity your father.
Huh?
You and your mother go see the ballet. The money you spend on eating out is your father's money, right?
The only thing he is going for him is money. Well, he's not the only one who earned the fortune of this house.
Stop saying that.
That old man, even that one, was born into a rich family. He's got nothing but money. The old man can't even shop for himself anyway. We're just making the most of it. It's our right as family.
Your father may be physically handicapped, but is clear in the head. I'm sure he's very sad that you and your mother are treating him so coldly.
I don't care. I just wish that baggage would be gone soon. I forgot to mention. I'll be traveling abroad from tomorrow.
What? Overseas? That's so sudden.
I've been planning this for a while. I just didn't tell you. We're traveling on a luxury cruise.
Oh, yeah. But what about your father?
He has you. It's just me and my mom going.
What about me? You guys are leaving me and your father behind?
Of course. How can we take someone like him on a trip? He's going to need someone to take care of him.
You're leaving me behind.
We can't just leave the old man alone. If something goes wrong, it'll be on us. Besides, I'd rather travel alone with my mom. It's no fun when you're in the way.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about you and the old man.
It's just the two of you again, in the lack of luxury. And how much does a luxury cruise cost?
I haven't been abroad for a while, so I wanted to go. I wanted to show my mom the beautiful scenery of Europe. The cost was a bit out there, but I can afford it.
You paid for it with your father's money.
The old man's fortune will be ours in the near future anyway. What we do with it is our business. I'll buy you a souvenir if I feel like it.
Even though your father hasn't been feeling well lately. How can you travel by yourselves?
It's probably just a cold or something. Besides, it's none of my business what happens to the old man.
You and your mother are too cold. And selfish.
Huh? Do you have a problem with me?
I have nothing but complaints. What does your father and I ever do to you? How can you guys be so selfish?
You're so cocky, aren't you? You're just a housewife. I could kick you out of my house if I wanted to. But if that happens, you'll be left pennilessing on the street.
If he heard about this, I'm sure your father would get angry.
I don't care. You can't do anything with that body even if he gets angry. If that old man ever messes with me or Mom, I'm gonna get even with him. I'm gonna beat him well.
You really are a terrible person.
Hey, you home? I'm coming home now, so get the food ready. I miss American food. European food was great, but it's just not the same.
Welcome back. You've finally returned.
Oh! I forgot to get you guys a souvenir. Well, that's okay, right?
Where are you now?
I just took a cab from the nearest station. I'll be home soon. Hurry up and cook. I'm so hungry.
Again, you contact me out of the blue like that.
I want tomato soup and baked potatoes for dinner. And maybe some grilled steak. I want to eat freshly cooked bread, too.
Months away from home. Don't you care how we're doing? Your father's condition and stuff. Don't you have something to say before requesting a whole dinner menu?
I don't care about his condition. I'm tired. Get ready and cook. Quick!
I'm gonna be home before you can stop blabbing.
You're still a hopeless case, aren't you? No wonder your father abandoned you.
You better watch your mouth. You think you're the master of the house now because we've been gone for 2 months?
Whatever.
I was just stating a fact.
Hey! What happened to the house? Where are you and the old man? Why is the house gone? Why is the land being cleared?
You should have seen this coming. That's what happens when you take things too far.
What are you talking about? What happened?
I warned you, didn't I? I said even if your father would be angry, didn't I?
So, explain to me what's going on. Mom is just sitting here in shock. Did the old man do this?
We tore down the house and sold the land.
Huh? Are you kidding?
It wasn't me, it was your father. Oh, and that's not all. He changed all of his assets into money, like cars, etc.
What on earth is that old man doing?
Shortly after you guys left, your father contacted his realtor, lawyer, and accountant. A week later, we moved all our stuff out of the house. The demolition happened so fast, I was surprised too.
Where are you now?
I'm staying at my parents' house for now. Your father paid for my flight and all the money to move out of the house.
How dare you do this? Who told you it was okay to do this?
I told you, your father made the decision. And we're getting a divorce too. I'm sorry you're tired from your trip, but I'm sure you'll be able to handle that too.
You don't get to decide on your own.
It's because you went on a trip without asking me. I'll make sure the process is handled through a divorce attorney. Your father paid for my legal fees, so that helped.
That feeble old man. He seriously did all this just to corner us? But still, I can't believe it demolished the house. He's nuts.
You guys really made your father angry. Also, he did this for me too. He said he would punish you for me.
And he paid your legal fees? He even paid for your move?
He said if I were getting a divorce, he would work with me to make it as favorable to me as possible. Like the property division and stuff. Also, your father is divorcing your mother. He said he had nothing to do with her anymore.
Think of how my mom would feel. What is she supposed to do if she gets divorced at her age?
You did the same thing to me.
That was just a threat. I was never gonna dump you.
This is all your own fault. No matter how coldly you treated him, your father never said a word. So you guys just went with it. You both took his kindness for granted.
You're kidding me. We let him live with us, and he should thank us for it. Even after the old man became disabled, we still let him live with us.
Why should he thank you guys for that? He was happier moving out of the house. If he stayed home, he would only be treated coldly by you and your mother.
Shut up. Old people, they're happiest at home.
You kept your father in the house because you were stingy with the money. It costs a lot to put him in a nursing home. But if you let me take care of him, there's no cost, and that's convenient.
You're good for nothing. I gave you a job. You're trash. You're a joke. Don't you guys think you can get away with this?
You still take such a high-handed attitude. I'm really stunned by you.
Whatever the old man does, I'm the heir to his fortune. Answer me. Where's the old man? I'm gonna take all his fortune away from him.
Your father is in a nursing home. And I think his fortune is pretty much gone. Your father paid in advance for his 5 years nursing home cost. The cost of a nursing home is so expensive. All the money and savings he made from selling things are almost gone.
Almost?
The fortune is your father's, so it's up to him how he wants to use it. There's nothing you can do about it now. Unfortunately, I doubt there's any money for you to inherit. Because there is nothing left.
Tell me where the old man is.
Are you going to hit him? Then I won't tell you. I've alerted the nursing home that his family may try to harm him. If you go visit, you'll probably be accompanied by security guard.
Stop mocking me.
You just did what we had to do to protect ourselves. How much longer are you going to keep up with that attitude? You should have a better understanding of the position you're in.
Good morning. I'm sorry about last night. I got mad and said a lot of terrible things to you. Again, I'd like to have a discussion with you.
I don't care. I'm used to getting this attitude from you. So is your father.
I treated my father terribly, too. My mom and I are both sorry for what we've done. I'm so sorry.
Oh. You've changed your attitude a lot. You seem to have finally figured it out. Our positions have been completely reversed.
I just realized we were a little too selfish.
Are you trying to win over me? You're worried about a property division, aren't you? If I take your property, you'll have nothing left.
My mom is broke now. I'll have to take care of her financially.
Yes, that's right. Your mother has never had a job, and I don't think she can even find a job.
So I'm trying to leave some savings on the table.
In other words?
I want a 50-50 split of the property. Please.
No. I don't want to.
Are you serious?
You have been so selfish all this time. That's enough. Why don't you try to live modestly and without luxuries from now on?
It's not like we're short on money. But I can't live like this.
But you still have a job. Your mother has her pension, too.
Still, it's a far cry from what he used to be. How could she suddenly reduce her quality of life after decades of living in luxury?
How naive are you at this point? You two have no choice but to reduce your quality of life. There's no other option. There's no way you can do what you've been doing, no matter how much your mother cries and screams.
That's not what I'm saying.
You can't afford to be extravagant anymore either. You should have had a better paying job. You didn't choose a job seriously, because you thought you were going to inherit all your father's fortune.
I didn't think you would make such a crazy move. I can't believe you demolished the house.
Your father didn't hesitate. He said he had nothing but bad memories of that house. He built that house for his family. I really felt sorry for him.
No matter how angry he was, he didn't have to go this far, did he?
Doesn't that mean his resentment was that deep? I only lived there for 5 years since I married you. But your father left with you guys for decades. Kind people are indeed scary when they get angry. I can't believe you were so easily abandoned. Guess we found out who was the baggage. My husband and I then proceeded with our divorce through the attorney. I was able to prove the emotional distress I was suffering from my husband. Most of the property became mine. As for the property division between my ex-husband's father and mother, his mother's share was none. And my ex-father-in-law and I each got divorced. My ex-husband and his mother lived together, but they couldn't suddenly drop their standard of living. Because his mother tried to live the same way she did when she was spoiled by my ex-father-in-law's money. My ex-husband had no choice but to go into debt, and that's why he and his mother's relationship crumbled. I reconnected with my childhood friend shortly after I moved back to my hometown and we started dating. And then we got married. I was so concerned about my ex-father-in-law that I went to see him once a year. He died exactly 5 years later. He got cancer in his later years. He lived until the last minute to ensure the cost he had already paid was not refunded to his son. I guess that's how much he resented him.
Hey, Jenna! How dare you fight in school? They say I didn't remind you. Do you have a problem? They blame me for the fight at school that affected me.
Why are you blaming me? They challenged me first. They say I'm a destructive person. How can I accept this?
But you're an adult now. Please rethink your actions so as not to affect those around you. So then you fight them over this. And you want to express yourself, right?
I didn't do anything if they didn't block my way. I just defended myself.
What? Do you defend yourself? Your self-defense is fighting because they challenge you? Okay, so about the shops in the city. If that was self-defense, then what about stealing from shops in the city?
I didn't do that. I just tried on some clothes. I didn't steal anything.
Jenna, I can't believe that you're the one who stole from the clothing store and sent a video of it to my parents.
I didn't do that. I was just trying on clothes. You have to believe me.
But why is there a video proving that you stole? You did it and showed irresponsibility by not thinking about the consequences of sending that video to my parents.
This has nothing to do with you. I don't know who sent the video and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Our parents always favor you. You get new clothes and fancy gadgets for studying while I have to use your hand-me-downs. It's not fair.
I understand how you feel, but it's not my fault that our parents do this. And just because they give me things doesn't mean I don't appreciate them or take them for granted.
But you never say anything about it. You act like it's normal.
I have talked to our parents about this before. And I think it's important for us to communicate with them as a family if we want things to change. But yelling at them won't solve anything.
But it's not just about the things they give you. It's about the attention and love they show you.
They always care about you, Jenna. They try to give you what they can. Indeed, this doesn't concern me, but you did something wrong and it's not worthy of forgiveness. What about the school that Dad introduced you to? My parents had to worry because of you, and I was also affected by your actions. What about the school that Dad introduced you to? Did you run away from school?
But I told you that I didn't do it. And about running away from school, I just wanted to avoid some issues and I didn't mean to bother anyone.
I can't believe this! Your father arranged for you to attend a new school to help secure a better future for you, but you ran away from school and engaged in inappropriate behavior.
I don't understand why you're so upset. I like this carefree lifestyle and don't want to go to school anymore.
But education is crucial in everyone's life. You need to understand that studying will help you achieve a better future and reach your dreams. If you don't study, you won't be able to accomplish that.
I'm tired of going to school. I don't want to continue studying. And my actions are just because I like them, not because of anyone else.
Your failure to attend classes on time and running away from school will affect your future. Your parents arranged for you to attend a new school to secure a better future for you, so you need to appreciate that and not engage in inappropriate behavior.
But your running away from school caused my parents to worry about you.
They arranged for you to go to a new school, but you ran away again and did things that weren't right. You need to think more carefully about your actions and your responsibility to your family and future education.
My life is my choice. You have no right to dictate what I do. And even my parents, I don't care. Go away, Maddie. Get out of my life. Hi, Maddie. Long time no see. I guess I don't remember this sister of mine.
Jenna, what's up?
It's not that I want to tell you. But I'm sure you'll be happy.
What is it, Jenna? You sound excited. Hope you don't fight and steal anymore, Jenna. We've had to take care of that for you, and that's enough.
Why do you have to overdo it? It's just a small thing. The thing is, I had a baby, Maddie.
OMG. Oh, come on, Jenna. You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding. My baby is 1 year old now.
Really? So where's the father of the baby? And why are you telling me about this, Jenna?
The child's father is a man I know at the bar. He is very handsome, so we have been married for 1 year. We're moving back to my parents' house, and you have the largest room in the house. Will you give it to us and move out of the house?
Jenna, you have a problem with your brain, right? Not a single word of greetings for parents or family members that went missing. Came here just to kick me out of the house and take it? Don't dream stupid things. It is not here.
Why do you have to make it so difficult for us? The baby is so cute, he will love you very much. I believe it will be very popular because of its handsomeness. It will definitely be a famous model. So you just let us stay in your room and it will surely pay you back in the future.
You're being too paranoid. Still don't rely on other people all day. What about your parents? They will not agree for you.
Won't you help me? You just need to give your room to my kid. Either way, there will be enough room for everyone.
What? You also make me laugh with your paranoia. I just want to come back home for my parents to take care of me and the baby. They're under no obligation to clean up your mess, Maddie.
Maddie, this has nothing to do with you. If you don't help me, that's fine, I'll still talk to my parents. Then they will have to agree to this too.
So you will come back here as a thief and raise a poor child. Don't insult me, it's just that I ran out of money, so I borrowed them temporarily. Wouldn't their parents pay for them? You asked them to be responsible to you, so why are you willing to give up your family so easily until you put all this garbage and then that garbage, you throw it to us with a claim of responsibility? But what did you do to solve your family problem before? Why did you abandon us, and now you come back just to take care of your own child?
Okay. I was wrong, I know it. But I just can't contact them yet. Because my parents force me to learn things I don't like, that's all. Just make the story up like that. I don't know why you are so hard on me.
I can't believe it, Jenna. You left us behind, and now you come back just to talk about how you will live with us to take care of your family? Then you continue to steal from the shops. Honestly, I'm ashamed to have a sister like you.
Just borrow it, but you will help me pay that amount. Well, I just stole some things from a few stores and they caught me. Now they won't let me back in and they've put my name up so everyone knows I'm not supposed to be there.
When did it happen?
Just last week.
Wait, what? Again? You stole from stores? Why would you do that?
I didn't have any money and I needed some things. I know it was wrong, but I didn't think I'd get caught.
That's not okay, Jenna. You can't just take things without paying for them.
I know. I messed up. But now I need your help. I owe the stores some money and I don't know how I'm going to pay it back. Can you help me pay for it?
This is insane. You're still stealing and now you want me to bail you out?
I'm sorry, Maddie. I know it was stupid, but I don't know what else to do. I promise I'll pay you back.
No way, Jenna. I'm not going to enable this behavior. You need to take responsibility for your actions and figure out a way to make things right.
Then I'll talk to my parents, they'll let us.
Jenna!
Hi, Maddie. Are you free? I need to talk to you for a bit.
Hi, Mom. Of course, I'm free. What's up?
I want to tell you that Jenna is not doing well health-wise.
Oh, why is that, Mom? Is she sick?
Yes, she's struggling. I allowed her to come back to our home, but since then, things have not been easy.
Why did you allow her to come back in the first place? We've had issues with her before.
I know, but at the time she said she had nowhere else to go and I couldn't let her live on the streets. But now I don't know what to do anymore. She doesn't listen to us and always creates all sorts of trouble for the family.
That's frustrating. I think we need to find a solution to help Jenna.
I'm also trying to figure. Maddie, there's one more thing I want to tell you about Jenna. After she came back to our house, she got married again and even got married for the third time.
Wow, I didn't expect that. But why did she get married multiple times?
Her first husband divorced her because she abandoned their child. She never told him about it and they got divorced almost immediately when she found out she was pregnant.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. And what about her second husband?
She only lived with her second husband for 5 weeks before getting divorced because she pushed him off a cliff when she was drunk.
That's terrible. And what about her third husband?
They lasted for 8 months before getting divorced because she tore up family photos when his mother objected to their relationship.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Jenna must have undergone some kind of therapy, right?
I think so, but she has never been willing to accept it, which makes everything even more difficult. Jenna has been processed by a psychologist and they said she is a dysfunctional and awful person.
So where does she live now?
She lives alone near my house so that she can visit her son regularly. But most of the time when she comes here, she just drinks and leaves after greeting her son.
That's unfortunate. And how did I hear news about my sister getting married?
I just received news that Jenna is getting married to a man who is over 10 years older than her after only 3 months of dating. I told her she needs to think carefully, but she still decided to get married because she wants to raise her son properly.
That's really sad. And what did Dad say to her?
Dad advised her to reconsider her decision and take responsibility for her son. But she just ignored that advice and commented that her parents are selfish and want to grab her attention.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. And did Jenna ask for your opinion on her future?
Sadly, a few nights ago, she asked me about my opinion on her future husband. I told her I didn't know him but felt she was making a wrong choice. I reminded her that she already had a child that she didn't raise well for the past 2 years.
That's really frustrating. I think she needs to understand that raising a child is a huge responsibility and should not be taken lightly. We need to help her more. I'm really speechless to Jenna. Things get worse when she's not aware of her actions.
I'm feeling a little upset, to be honest. I had a conversation with Jenna yesterday and it didn't go well.
What happened again?
Well, I found out that she's pregnant by a man she barely knows. I tried to talk to her about it and make sure she understood the risks, but she got very defensive and called me a crappy sister. I ended up telling her that she was a crappy person and walking out.
Oh no, Mom. That sounds like a tough situation.
It is. And to make matters worse, my parents called me afterward and said that Jenna had told them about the conversation. They agreed with me, but they also said that I should have been nicer since Jenna was very upset.
I can understand why you would feel upset, especially if you were just trying to help her.
Yes, exactly. I just want what's best for her and her unborn child. But now I feel like our relationship is strained.
Maybe you could try reaching out to her again? I see that she completely does not understand you, only interested in getting married or not. All you do want good for her.
Either way, she's my granddaughter, your sister, so I hope she understands that.
Yes, I think it will understand your decision. Then I'll talk to Maddie.
Okay, so I'll give it a try and see how it goes.
All right, Mom. Hey Jenna, what's been going on? I wanted to talk to you about something that's been bothering me.
Maddie, what's up?
Well, I was at your place last night and it was a mess. There were beer cans on the floor, cigarette cartons smashed up, cigarette butts everywhere, holes in the wall, and cigarette burns in the carpet. To say that I was disgusted would be an understatement.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It was just a party, things got out of hand.
But that's not my biggest concern. I still think you'd be a bad mom and that you're unreliable.
Whoa, hold on. You have no right to judge me like that. You aren't married, have no children, and haven't moved out of your apartment since graduating.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Jenna. You're making bad choices, but nobody can point that out to you because you get defensive. And it's not fair, especially because your choices have an impact on others and mine don't.
I hear you, Maddie, but it's my life and I should be able to make my own choices.
Of course, but you also have to act like a grown-up and take responsibility for your actions. You can't just keep brushing things under the rug and expecting everything to be okay.
That's none of your business, my child. I know what to do myself. You're nothing.
You have been blocked by this user account.
It wasn't long before I heard that her sister decided to run away from her current husband due to the pressure of having a baby. But the story did not work out because the husband found out and they decided to divorce. My parents decided to take her home to take care of her and the grandchild would be taken care of by me. This makes me feel lucky to have been able to protect it under the wrong and bad care. I hope she will change for the better for her life and the child herself. Am I doing the right thing?